Just comments about this last game. It's not the vision that we had going over there. Again, I thought we got really good effort out of our squad defensively. Made too many mistakes, and usually the team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And you know, from a defensive standpoint, that was the case. And whether it was scheme or whether it was mistakes, we didn't do a very good job getting off the field on third down. So that'll give you something to talk about. You know, they were just slightly over 50%, and that's not good enough to win. We got to be at 70%. We only got 2 takeaways. That's not good enough. I can't remember whether we had 2 or 3 and outs, and that's not good enough. You know, we got to be a better defense. And as you saw, I'm sure you did. You know, tackling had a lot to do with that. I'm not disappointed in our players and their effort. Like I said, they gave us very good effort, but fundamentally, from the standpoint of tackling, we got to be better, and it's going to get better. I guarantee you that. With that said, I'll start taking questions.
Was fatigue a big factor in the second half in the tackles?
No, I don't think so. You know, because the tackles that we missed most of them were over pursuit. You know, and we got to be able to leverage the ball and not let it cut back on us. And I don't think it had anything to do with it. You know, and you know, we get off the field a couple times, and the time of possession will be in our favor. You know, we allow them to extend drives. We get an interference call on a big third down where we're off the field. But you know, those kind of things happen, and you know, we missed tackles on the sideline where if we just use the sideline and press the ball to the sideline, then we're going to be off the field again. You know, so you know, it's fundamentals that we can improve, and you know, it's what we got to do. And again, I go back to what I said in preseason. It gets down to coaching. It gets down to coaching, and we got to do a great job of coaching. We got good enough players to win with. Do we need more depth? Oh, absolutely. That's why we got to go recruit. But it gets down to fundamentals, and we got to do a better job of coaching fundamentals this week.
What do you think the play of your end, specifically the younger guys, they got to the edge a little bit on you?
Well, you know, it wasn't always the end's fault when they got to the edge. Okay, so let's say that, make that statement first. Okay, you know, we did a poor job of supporting some of the speed stuff that came at us, and you got to understand coverage and who has support and those kind of things. So you know, and again, that gets back to coaching as well. But you know, we played 4 true freshmen, and you know, we're not going to make any excuses for that. Hey, next man up, they got to go, they got to play, and you know, I thought they did a good job. You know, are they SEC ready right now? Well, yeah, they are, because they're going to play. So, and we got to continue to get them better. Steve Caldwell will do a great job of coaching them up, and they'll get better this week. And obviously, during the course of the game, they got better. So, you know, you know, again, it's not, if they get outside, it's not always the end's fault.
Coach, go ahead. Also, did you get any explanation on that pass interference call against Syracuse? I mean, did the refs explain that or anything?
On
pass interference against Syracuse on the.
Well, you know, we don't talk to them. I mean, they make the calls, and we don't officiate. And, you know.
Well, just where we were at it, we couldn't see what happened.
Well, I can't really comment on officiating, and you know, I'm not wealthy enough to pay the fine.
Coach, at some point you're going to need some of those freshmen on the back end, like Catalan and Bush. How far off are they before you feel comfortable putting in a meaningful snaps?
Well, they're not bad. You know, you know, and coaches, sometimes they get, a little bit nervous, and we were trying to get that thing turned around. And, we kept our best guys in there, that gave us the best shot. But we've got to, just like we did, we got in a situation, where we didn't play, Clay in the first game. And we were trying to get him in, and we didn't. Now he's got to go out there his first game and play a bunch of reps in the SEC. And, we gotta speed that up. We gotta find, areas that we can, get them in the game so they can gain that experience.
Well, hello. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. We're going to be here for a preemptive 30-minute show as we've been out taking care of some administrative things. We'll be back here at our full extended hour tomorrow. I promise you, but we want to make a note that this 30-minute segment and each and every segment that we're able to be on air is a gracious thank you to our sponsors. Lindsay and Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion is located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, residential, commercial, need to look good. Contact Corey Beck. You will not be disappointed. Our next to the greatest sponsor that we've ever had now, but one of our newest sponsors, KDK's Chicken, located at 989 Razorback Road. Go down and see Keith. Get some of that good old chicken, like they say. It's not your mama's. Best chicken in the South. I'm telling you, best chicken in the South. Get those chunks. That's what I like. But real quick, I want to bring in my co-host and producer, Demetrius Johnson. Make a real quick note before we have on our featured guest today, Kevin McPherson of hogbill.net. Arkansas and Coach Musselman are out doing the Razorback Roundup as the 6-month recruiting period for men's and women's basketball has gotten underway, and they got a lot of stops to make. And we're going to bring in Kevin and find out just where the bus continues to lead up to and where their trips are going to continue to head throughout the week. But real quick, I'm going to bring on Demetrius. Nick Starkel, quarterback. No other changes in the depth chart. I was watching my social media real intently last night, Demetrius, and it seems like a lot of people are pretty excited. I think it might be I think it has a chance to be a festive crowd on Saturday with the newness of a new quarterback, don't you think?
Yeah, I think just Starko brings a different presence. I think he passed the eye test from a fan base perspective. They gave him that electricity you want to see in your offense. He really gave us that spark. He was able to move the ball. Yeah, I think he made a couple of little mistakes. I don't know between that handoff with Delvar Whaley and between him and a couple of positional mistakes that I think he made from a alignment standpoint. But I think other than that, he played a pretty clean game.
When you look at this team, you was mentioned as you heard audio from the chief, John Chavis, defensive coordinator at Arkansas. The depth in the secondary, a lot has been asked of Monteric Brown, Cameron Curl, Joe Fouché, Pac-Man McClellan, and Greg Brooks Jr. They played a lot of football. A lot of minutes have been logged on this young group of secondary guys. How important is it, Demetrius, that these guys like Devin Bush, Jalen Catalon, Miles Mason, Ladarius Bishop, they're able, because these are redshirt freshmen and some are, still yet. I know Mason's a sophomore, but he's young in all rights as well. How big is it that they get some time this weekend and the coming weeks going forward to prepare themselves? Like I said, 2 weeks away, we'll be in Jerry's World for SEC game number 2.
I think it's huge, I really like what Chief said. He made the comment, we have the players on campus now to win. We still need to build that depth, but we have the players now that we should be winning. And I'm a firm believer that they do have the players. They just have to be a little bit more attentive to how they use the players that they have. And I think Chief alluded to that they kind of did misuse a couple of players and should have substituted and interchanged, Greg Brooks with possibly, Devon McClure at that nickel spot. So I think this week Chief is going to just sit back and reevaluate and reassess the players that he does have to use at his dispense and try to use them as best as possible.
But, you're going to have some fans that aren't, based on one defeat, thinking the sky has fallen. And my message to those fans is you're watching the team grow in the process. If you can sit there, and I honestly can say even throughout that game on Saturday, they didn't play up to the standard that Coach Mo and the staff would like, but they had a chance to win. I mean, it's 10-3, guys, and they're in the mid part of the third quarter. Arkansas still had every much incentive to play, and they played very hard. It's just when you're dealing with a young team, and I know people hate to hear it, it's not the words, especially a Razorback fan that's not had so much success over the years, you want to hear, but there's talent. There's a lot of good talent on the football team, and it has to go through the maturation process. Whether we like it or not, being from a media standpoint, I mean, I've had the up-close personal vantage point as well as you, Demetrius, to watch this program go through so much heartache. But I firmly believe if the fan base here in Arkansas can be patient, and with the way that Chad and his staff are able to add pieces, and it's not going to be an overnight deal, but as they add pieces, this program definitely can these fans can feel what it feels like to be a winner. Don't you think, Demetrius?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get the pieces, but again, I need to see a different level of. I really can't find a word from the coaches. I still put a lot of the emphasis on the coaches because at times in games they look very inexperienced, which they are. And I want to get that monkey off their back. That's why I said it was so crucial that they win that Ole Miss game. That would have been their first official SEC game, and it would have been a victory from Chad Moore's era standpoint. It would have been a stepping stone because I can even remember last year. I forgot what they did monumental for Chad's first game, and they talked about how they want to try to make all this history and make emblems from history. I think it was a brick or something that they did, and when they beat Eastern Illinois for the first game. But I think that he has to get that monkey off his back from a coaching standpoint, and it's going to have to take him to win a adverse game where it's going to boil down to what he decides as a coach and his play calling ability to really win the game.
Well, you kind of hope, with the insertion of Nick Starkel at the quarterback spot, that this can, as he says, give this football team a spark. And I've always told you throughout fall camp, Demetrius, from my vantage point, from where I was sitting and being able to view that this football team, both on the offensive, the defensive side, and in the special team department, they all seem to gravitate. And there was a little extra juice when Nick Starkel was under center at the one spot. But we're going to step away. It's time to talk a little the Must Bus. We'll see where the Razorback Roundup's headed as the recruiting period has opened with Kevin McPherson at hogville.net. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You know what I say. Let's get it.
Complete, and an Arkansas first down, and the Razorbacks taking advantage of the field position after that penalty. 46 yards to Mike Woods.
That's really the first stage. 3.5 to go in this one. Arkansas changed quarterbacks at the half. A&M transfer Nick Starkel is able to find the edge. Do you see Nick Starkel staying in a starting? Since he started the second half, I would say staying in a starting role next week for Arkansas?
I think so. I mean, I think you've seen what this offense needs. It needs the vertical threat throwing the football. And yes, Starkel is a step behind, rightfully so, where Ben Hicks is in running this offense and getting these young players lined up and running with the tempo. But he is more talented. He's better pushing the ball to perimeter throws like that. He's better pushing it downfield. And you're going to major at Arkansas and running the football with Rakeem Boyd.
Connor Nolan is still at Arkansas, but he'll be a pitcher exclusively for the Arkansas baseball team. And again, the baseball coach, Dave Van Horn, they're really excited.
It's going to be, towards the end of the year until we see if there's enough talent on the outside to complement what Rakeem Boyd is and the talent they have in the backfield.
They're able to convert this one to Traylon Burks. Cole, where have you seen improvement from Arkansas over the last year plus
a lot of young talent out there? Offense has got to be balanced.
Other two quarterbacks last year transferred out. Ty Story now at Western Kentucky. Cole Kelly at Southeastern Louisiana.
Welcome back. It's on the
completion over the middle. Still running with it is Trey Knox after taking
Tuesday edition, a shortened Tuesday edition, as we were doing some administrative things that we sometimes has to get done. I mean, we like to talk, but if we don't take care of this stuff, then we can't talk. So it had to be done. But we're back, and The Arkansas basketball men's program under Eric Musselman, they've started as what they're going to call the Razorback Roundup. The basketball period, as all coaches know it in Division I, they're able to go out and recruit. And we thought we'd catch up with our buddy that follows it, and I mean follows it like a hawk. Hogville.net's Kevin McPherson. KP, welcome to the Hill, my man.
Pat, good to be back with you, my friend. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. Give me 1 second. Just one quick second. We'll have some little technical difficulties, but I'm telling you, when you got the best in the business, KP will be on here shortly and bring you to all the listeners. And we'll give a shout out to all our sponsors once again. Lindsay & Associates with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Now, finally, our big dog, Kevin. Welcome to the Hill, my man.
Yeah, good to be back with you, Pat. Good to be with you.
Let's talk about it. The Razorback Roundup is the motto they're going to go by in searching for their 2020 class. A lot of the must-busts moving around. You know, where will the coaches be and where have they been to so far? And I want to start with a young man, Jalen Williams, out of Northside High School. Talk about Jalen. And I know Arkansas, they're supposed to be in Fort Smith today, aren't they?
And that's where I'm headed right now, Pat. You didn't know that, so it's perfect timing, though, for you to start with that. I'm heading to Fort Smith. Plan on being there at practice today. And Eric Musselman and assistant coach Clay Moser are expected to be on hand to watch Jalen Williams practice. You know, he's a 2020 kid, a guy they'd love to have, 6'10", forward center, big soft hands, really nice face-up skill, playing away from the basket for a big guy. But he's a volume rebounder, the second leading rebounder this spring and summer on that ultra-competitive Nike EYBL circuit, averaged over 10 rebounds a game. And, you know, he can score, too, inside and out. And, an effective rim protector, even though he's not a bouncy guy, just big, solid frame. And you see why Arkansas prizes him. Ranked number 66 in the country, the composite. So that's an average of the big three, ESPN Rivals and 247 Sports. He's a high-level four-star, Pat. So, yep, Arkansas coaches out to see him today.
The thing that sticks out to me about this staff is the high priority that they're placing on the in-state talent. I think Coach Anderson did it to a high level, but it seems like Eric and his staff have taken it up a notch. You're talking about another young man that I know they went to visit in the state of Arkansas, with that being Chris Moore, 6'6", power forward out of West Memphis. Talk about the in-home visit. I know you had a story out, but how'd that in-home visit go with Chris and staff?
I think it went really well. Chris seemed excited about it. He said it went great, and he said he thought it only helped Arkansas's chances. Penny Hardaway and Memphis were in that same household earlier in the day, so that's going to be tough to get him away from, really a cross-town school for him being out in West Memphis. But I think Arkansas's right in the thick of it. The visit went well. And, again, the feedback I get anytime an Arkansas player or any player gets in the room with Musselman is he does a great job of presenting what Arkansas can do for the player and what he sees in that player. And he's a guy that likes player comparisons. And he compared him to Jordan Caroline, who last year as a senior in Nevada helped that team win, 28, 29 games. They were ranked as high as 5th in the country. And he had a really good summer with the Lakers and signed a contract as a free agent. So, sort of an undersized guy that became a jack of all trades at Nevada, and that's how they see Chris Moore. But, yeah, good visit last night on that in-home.
The big fish in the whole state that I know everyone's going to keep an eye out is the young man by the name of Moses Moody. I mean, isn't it just fitting Moses is his initial name? Talk about that, because I know Coach Williams went to Florida to pay, just to keep an eye on Moses and let him know of the interest level. But talk about Moses, and what are some other things that Moses is going to be looking for when you talk to him when making this big time decision?
Yeah, I think Moses is really getting to know the staff. So especially for Arkansas being a new staff, that's, he took an unofficial visit on June 30th. Arkansas was back out to see him yesterday, like you said. And then he's got an official visit planned for October 18th through 20th. So, he's already taken an official visit to Ohio State. I fully expect Florida to get one, Michigan probably. And then, you've got Kansas, Oregon, and USC that are fighting for a visit. So we'll see how it goes. But I think fit I think what really matters with Moses is a coach that's going to be able to get the most out of a team concept, not just help him get to the next level, but also he wants to, have success in a team setting for however long he's in college, and that relationship building's ongoing with Arkansas as we speak. But Moses Moody, I mean, highly coveted ESPN top 30 guy, 6'6" wing, over 7 foot wingspan, smooth shooter. He would be a prize for sure. There's no doubt about it, Pat.
When you look at these, the recruits that Coach Musselman, has gone after in the 20, 21, 22 classes, the one thing that I think sticks out that these players keep constantly reminding us in the media is that the ability to recruit positionless basketball players. Is that something that a lot of the kids are really starting to, really gravitate to, is not having a position put on them in this day and age of basketball?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you talk to Jalen Williams, for example, we just talked about him. He can shoot the three ball. He can step out and knock a mid-range shot down. He's a guy that if he's got another big man out on, and he's guarding him out on the floor, he can make a pass. Because he's got such good court awareness, those soft hands, and he's a good passer. But he can also put it on the deck and get by guys. So he can do different things at 6'10". So he's not a traditional just back to the basket guy. And so you want a system, and from all accounts, the pace and space offense rewards all 5 players opportunities to shoot threes and do other things. So I think it'd be a great opportunity for positionless basketball for any guy that sees himself as more than just one spot on the floor.
Talking with Kevin McPherson of Hogville.net, covers all Razorback basketball recruiting for us here on the Hill and multiple other outlets. But I know the Must Bus and the Razorback Roundup, they'll be making trips. Could you tell the listeners and viewers, where will the Hog staff be for the duration of the rest of the week? Who are some of the big-time players that they'll be trying to get out and see?
Well, first of all, they made their most of the first day, which was Monday. We talked about Chris Moore. We talked about Moses Moody. They also went and saw the 5-star Bryce Thompson in Tulsa. They went and saw a top 50 4-star guard and also in Oklahoma in Rondell Walker, who, by the way, is going to come back to Arkansas weekend after next, the 21st, the weekend of the 21st. So they saw those guys on Monday. Today it's Jalen Williams, like we talked about. I was just at Sylvan Hills practice where assistant coach Corey Williams is there to see 2022 Hog offer and national top 35 Nick Smith Jr. Williams is on his way now to go see Darian Ford, another 2022 kid, also top 35 in Darian Ford. And then you're going to have Arkansas coaches spreading out all week. Clay Moser's going to be in Minnesota, Ohio. You're going to have Arkansas coaches crisscrossing the country. So we're going to see more of these top-level guys. Harrison Ingram down in Dallas, a 2021 6'7" combo forward that I've gotten to see play. He's like a point forward, Pat. They're going to go out and see him on Friday of this week. But, between Monday and Friday, they're going to probably hit at least 25 players. I'm going to guess more than that.
Oh, wow.
But at least 25.
Kevin, real quick before I let you go, I know you had a chance to cover the North Little Rock Memphis Whitehaven game. Brought 2 prospects, one already committed in Martravius French, and his teammate Bryson Eason. Arkansas is in, we all know big-time need at the linebacker spot. And let's just be honest, big-time need of game changers and playmakers. From what you've seen from French, who's committed to Arkansas, to also Bryson Eason, talk about what those guys, in watching them, what they would bring to the University of Arkansas if they so choose to both be Razorbacks.
Well, first of all, from a measurable standpoint, they already have SEC linebacker size. We know Arkansas struggled in the past to get linebackers on campus, and a lot of times they get these undersized guys that they have to pack on weight. They're kind of undersized. These guys are both 6'2", 240 plus, so they pass that eye test immediately, and then they can play. They're flexible. They've got good agility. I like the way that they shed blockers and get to a place they can get from A to B off contact, play well in space and in traffic. And these are guys you got to get. I mean, Martavius French had 13 tackles the other night, a forced fumble. He had a pass breakup, and he had an interception that really spoiled the one good drive North Little Rock was having, and it came at the right time. So, and then Easton had a game where he was assisted on 3 tackles for loss, had 8 tackles, and we probably had the hit of the night. So these are the kind of guys Arkansas's got to continue to recruit and get. And French said he thinks he's going to be able get his teammate to Fayetteville. They're coming in for the Auburn game for a visit, but he thinks he's going to be able to help get a commitment from Easton. And boy, those two, they're both 4 stars, just rated outside that top 300, but they look like big-time linebackers to me, Pat.
Well, he's Kevin McPherson, and he's of Hogville.net. And as always, Kevin, we'll catch up. And thanks for always taking time out here on the Hill, my man.
Good to be with you, Pat.
That was Kevin McPherson of Hogville.net and AR Hoops Scoops. I mean, the guy he does it like nobody else. As he said, he's on his way to Demetrius already to Fort Smith to continue to bring the up to the minute recruiting information to all Razorback fans, and does a great job. And we appreciate him always on here. But we're not going to wrap it up yet. We got a couple of minutes. And it came out Arkansas will also be playing another night game, but this time it'll be against San Jose State. And the TV schedule for next week. When you look at that schedule, Demetrius, there's only a few big games, but none bigger than that Georgia Notre Dame game is what's jumping out to me.
Yeah, looking at the schedule, I don't know why I thought we played Colorado next week. That's the week after next.
Any big things for Nick Starkel? I mean, what's the expectation level you think going into Saturday's game? Is it he goes out and has to throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, or what do you think, Coach, is going to be
40
considered
piece.
a good performance?
40 piece.
4 touchdowns?
Nah, you ain't hear me, sir. 40 piece. That 40 piece.
You still want that 40 piece?
That 40 piece that they owe, that 40 piece wing dinner they owe me at the beginning of the year. I need that this week. That this week.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up. We want to give a thank you for our shortened show. We'll be back as I stated from 1 to 2 p.m. at our full hours time slot on tomorrow. We'll have much Razorback information as we'll be having media availability with players and more players tonight following tonight's practice as they prepare to take on the Colorado State Rams. Kickoff set for 3 p.m. in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. But for my producer, Demetrius Johnson, for my guest, Kevin McPherson of Hogville.net, to all of our sponsors, Lindsay & Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville and office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion, located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting. Commercial, residential, doesn't matter. Contact Corey Beck, and I'm sure you will not be disappointed in our newest sponsor, and the one I'm kind of fond of, KDK's Chicken, located at 989 South Razorback Road.
Get that
Go down
birthday
to see
shout out.
Keith, Kathy, and get a plate of love. And I'm telling you, also want to give a shout out to Mr. Keith Kidd. Happy birthday,
Mr.
man.
Kidd.
Have a blessed one.
The kid.
I think I'm going to have some chicken chunks on them today.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm going to have. And
No,
hey,
I'm
you
gonna
better
pull
get
up.
down there, 989 Razorback Road. Go down chicken chunks. You like waffle cones. You like french fries. You like chicken wings. You like fried okra.
They got them collard greens coming soon.
I mean, you name it. They have it down there. Just macaroni and cheese, peach cobbler. Go get some. I'm telling you. But that's going to wrap it up, and we'll be back tomorrow. This On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and let's get it.
TV God.